So yesterday I talked about ChatGPT and the 3 myths and 3 fat loss truths it came up with, and I wanted to talk about a little bit more and maybe have my own version as somebody who has worked with a lot of people. So there's like the science, there's the literature, there's like the textbook responses, which I think ChatGPT did a really good job at enunciating, but I think there's a little bit more to it. I think there's some nuance, some the human perspective that was missing for the responses. So as a quick review, it suggested that crash dieting and extreme exercise is a myth. Eating less and avoiding fat is a myth. Remember I said that was a half truth. And spot reduction is impossible. It worked. That's true. And the 3 truths it gave you was calorie deficit is necessary, increasing your protein is necessary, and regular resistance training is one of the secrets to sustained fat loss. And I think all 3 of those things, was right on the nose for that. But then I came up with my own list from working with people. And that's the main difference. I don't think ChatGPT has worked with anybody yet. It might in the future, but at this point in the over the decade of experience I've had and thousands of people I've worked with, I came up with my own list of 3 myths and 3 truths for fat loss. And starting with the myths. The first one is that cardio is necessary for fat loss because, cardio burns fat. And that is a myth in itself. There is a way that you can lose body fat without doing cardio. Does cardio help? Yes. Is it a bonus? It's the icing on the cake. I think if you take care of all the primary things in the hierarchy of fat loss, if you do targeted cardio, meaning in the specific right zones, I think you're going to see an increased benefit, but it's not necessary. So it's a myth that cardio is necessary for fat loss. Secondly, going more strictly is the best. So don't give yourself an out, go all in and be disciplined and don't allow yourself to slip up is a myth for fat loss. I think this 80-20 approach that I've talked about so many times is the right way to go. Allow yourself to live a little bit. Just don't allow yourself to live too much, not slide totally backwards into that direction. It is a myth that you have to be very strict and you have to be really tough on yourself because before you weren't, and that's how you got to this place in the first place. That's not the case. I think you need a little bit of self-compassion and you have to understand that life comes at you. You just need to kind of find that middle road. And thirdly, age. Like as you get older, it's harder to lose body fat. Your body doesn't work the same. And the truth is, it does actually work the same, but it is true in the sense that you've lost. Your metabolism has turned down a little bit. Maybe some of the functions are not working at the highest speed as they were at one point. But the truth is that the principles are the principles. You still need to maximize your activity. You still need to increase your protein, maybe even more so as you get older. You still need to do resistance training and so on and so forth in that hierarchy of fat loss. So the myth is that with age, it gets harder. And I don't say it gets harder. It's just you can't be so mindful of it. Like it's not a mindless like it might have been when you were younger. And now on to the 3 truths. First and foremost, you're going to be a little bit hungry. There's times where you'll have to kind of go through that experience. You have to feel that feeling of hunger because that's what's actually happening. Your body's signaling, oh, look, we're not getting enough food to maintain what we currently are at. And you don't want to maintain what you're at. You want to lose. You want to allow your body to burn through some of that tissue that's built up in this form of fat. So you need to kind of, I won't say ignore it, but sit with that hunger a little bit longer, and you're going to feel hungry along the way. And that's nothing necessarily bad. Second myth, it's going to take longer than you anticipated. A lot of infomercials and fitfluencers will say that it'll be like 7 days, 21 days, 3 months, whatever it is. It takes longer than that. It'll take longer than you expect because life will often get in the way. You'll fall off in a sense and have to come back on. So it's going to take longer to get to this fat loss goal than you maybe first anticipated. And then I think thirdly, the truth here is that you are going to slip up. You're going to feel bad. You're going to it won't be a straight line. And I think that maybe the tidbit here, the good voice note here is that it's simple and it's straightforward. It's not complicated, but it's also not easy. So it's simple but not easy to get to your fat loss goals. And that's something to keep in mind as one of the truths about losing body fat.